Hey folks, I'm Alex Torre with Skill Mammoth Digital, and today is day 2 of building Skill Mammoth in public. So yeah, basically what this is I run a marketing agency, and you get to watch. This helps me stay accountable to myself, and if you're watching, maybe you'll learn something as well, and you can either cheer me on or give me some tips as we do this. So what does Skill Mammoth actually do? So our core offer is websites as a service, and then upselling to SEO, LSA, and then custom automation. So first is kind of the core demo that we work with: HVAC, roofing, plumbing, electrical, but we do work with pro services as well. So like law firms, medical, a manufacturer, videographer, that kind of stuff. So how we make money? So we do a build fee, so a one-time build fee, and then a monthly retainer. So big head, long tail, and the tail is the business. That's where we kind of, build our monthly recurring revenue. So every day I'm going to answer these first questions. What did I make? What we're doing with sales, what we're doing with fulfillment, and then what we're doing with strategy. Just a 4-step recipe to keep yourself accountable. If you want to do it alongside me, feel free to do it. So basically, this is what I made in the last 30 days. So $20,800. As yesterday, there was maybe like a $30 bump in difference, I guess, just based on what's hitting the auto pay. But yeah, the pipeline did move though, right? So just due to things moving stages in our pipeline, our projected revenue in the next 30 days is now up to 28K from 27K yesterday. So that's good. Grand is a grand. So we're growing. And then, now we're getting more. So yesterday I said I was going to get leads ready to put them into our cold email system for Monday. They're scraped and ready. The campaign copy is not written. I'm gonna do that tomorrow morning. I slept badly last night, so the tank is empty. You can tell that I'm wearing the same shirt, but yeah, so I'm just writing it in the morning tomorrow instead of, just doing it on like a low energy today. So, all right, cool. We're also keeping it. So we have 9 still open tasks. Yesterday there were 11. We're down to 9. Tried to, knock some out over the weekend. There are 4 still waiting on clients. 5 I can do alone. Try and knock them out tomorrow. I only have 2 meetings tomorrow, so that's plenty of time to do the work. Like I said, tomorrow's wide open. Lastly, I'm doing some stuff, with Skill Mammoth's homepage. Maybe I'll show it off in a moment. But yeah, basically, I'm working on my copy. Now that we're getting a lot more inbound, right? We're getting a lot of stuff from, Claude, ChatGPT, and Gemini coming to the website. I wanted to make sure that the messages and the stuff that I'm ranking for is pretty gripping and not like generalist, right? Because before, Skill Mammoth was positioned as a generalist, so like we just build websites for everybody. But now that I know the type of traffic that I'm getting, I want to position it to be contractor focused. So the 2 agencies that I'm modeling off of, these are great people, by the way. I'm not saying that they're bad or anything, but they have a good strategy and it's working. Is Systems and Service Scaler, so Stone Systems IO. They're at, they claim 500K a month revenue. I know he does like a agency training thing, so I don't know what percentage of that is his info product, but he does have an agency that does work with contractors at 500K a month potentially. Even if he does only like 100K a month, it's still way bigger than Skill Mammoth. And then Service Scalers is a big trades focused organization as well. They're kind of, I would probably say, Stone Systems very, very low ticket, like $297 a month, and they pitch on the call with that. And then Service Scalers is, I think, probably more in Skill Mammoth's lane, where every engagement requires a phone call. But yeah, anyway, my homepage before was kind of not very focused, and even this, I'm still tweaking it. But let me put this on the screen here. But this is our website. And it used to be kind of like, get SEO that works for you, right? And now it's very, HVAC contractor specific. So be the contractor who answers first, talks about how we build the website for contractors that quote the job, answer at 11, and text you back, right? So, and then still the same CTAs that get us our leads. And then, kind of talking about, the actual impact that the website has to our, typically trucks in a truck or small HVAC teams versus, hey, we will build you a website, right? So we're tweaking the messaging, and hopefully we get a little bit more conversion. Yeah. So that's, yeah. And also, I didn't kill my old industry pages. So I do have a lot of industry pages on the website that are ranking in their own right in different places. So we got like medical, legal, coaches, and whatnot. So I didn't kill those pages. I just put them in the footer and then on the all industries page. That way, for those folks that are still coming through, that I can get leads that way. And, if, let's say, a staffing person does research on Skill Mammoth, they can see that I have a dedicated staffing recruiting page just for them, right? So anyway, until we're like cooking and crushing it, in the trade space. I don't want to necessarily 100% pick a lane. I feel like I'm going in that direction, and worse, like, you know, like I know it's the choice right now is, you know, kind of like that barbell, low ticket services, or do I move up market and go high ticket? But I think there is a ladder there. So even if I do like these like low ticket, you know, $200, $300 a month clients, I think the benefit is I can upsell them to SEO, to LSA when they're ready. So that's kind of where we're at. All right, next slide. Yeah, okay. Another idea that I had, I'm not going to build it right now just because the juice isn't worth the squeeze, but I could swap that landing page out just using some UTM. So like a roofer would see like a roofing page, lawyer would see a law page, right? So maybe someday, but you know, we're getting like maybe, you know, 100 inbounds a month. I don't want to necessarily like spend all this time on something that will only move the needle, you know, maybe one additional lead versus, you know, when a year from now when we're getting 1,000 clicks a month, and it could be a massive increase, right? Just trying to budget my time. All right, so tomorrow I'm going to be doing the campaign copy and those 5 tasks for my clients, just get them off the list, and then also, you know, nudge the clients that I'm still waiting on. But that's a promise. I'll come back tomorrow, and we're going to keep on growing. One thing that I didn't even mention, tomorrow is the work week, so there's some actual active sales motion that I'm going to try. I'm going to try cold calling. I know I'm so nervous about it because I'm not, I've you know, I always feel so awkward about it, but I'm just going to do some dials. It's not the most glamorous thing in the world, but there are plenty of clients that will pick up and that don't have websites or have poor websites that I can help. So that's kind of like my goal, is just to start, you know, flexing that muscle, right, and practicing versus just hemming and hawing and talking about it, because I know it'll move the needle. And that's what Stone Systems is. They're like, you know, before they started doing their agency to agency stuff, it was primarily like their first 100K they got from cold outbound via dialing. So gonna try that out, see how we do. Anyway, that's me. Bye for now.